Acres, and welcome to my live channel. So today I'm going to be talking about housing deficit, the causes as well as the solution. Just for better reference, Victoria Acres, we already have this article already written down on our website, which is www.victoriaacres.com. So if you want to see a comprehensive article about this, basically what I'm talking about today, it is available on our website. It's titled Project Highlight the High Rise. So today I'm just going to be communicating the housing deficit situation. So what do we mean by housing deficit and how does it affect us here in Lagos? First of all, housing deficit refers to the lack of number of houses needed for a certain population. So the lack of numbers of houses needed for a certain population to grow, that's what we call housing deficit. So the deficit comes when we have insufficient housing or insufficient houses that are available for the public use or insufficient housing that do not basically serve the needs to the public. And we get a lot of that these days when people are saying houses are very, expensive. Is expensive, but yeah, the demand is high and there's little to no availability of homes. So this live is just to basically explain to you guys why we have that situation in Lagos and what are the solutions that we can look to help it. So housing deficit speaks about having inadequate amounts of houses available for you. And in 2023, we experienced about 28 million housing deficit. That means 28 million people in need of homes. And Nigeria, Lagos has one of the highest migration. We're experiencing about 3 million people to 10 million people coming into Lagos every year. That is a huge number. Now, the question is, do we have enough houses to accommodate those people? Why do we have a lot of homelessness? Why do we have a lot of inadequate structures to accommodate the people that we have? So because of the migration issue that we have, where we have 3 million people coming into Lagos every day, we'll be needing about 3 million houses every year, basically, to satisfy these people. Who are the people that are going to be building this? This is you and I. Who are the people that are going to be creating solutions? This is you and I. So now I'm going to be talking about current data so we can have an idea of what Lagos State government is dealing with. So we can have an idea of why they are consistently demolition for public use. Number one, in 2011, we had about 11 million people living in Lagos. But as of 2023, that number increased from 11 to 28. Now let me just give you guys an idea of what we're dealing with, right? The whole of New York is 8 million. Manhattan, Brooklyn, all those places, 8 million people. But in Lagos, it is 23 million people. That is a lot of people to provide houses for. And how is that going to be possible if we have fully detached, semi-detached and everything? So why is Lagos one of the fastest migration, which is having about 8.6 migration? So Lagos is having one of the fastest migration because it's one of the most developing city in Africa. It's one of the most developing cities with a GDP of about, we have a GDP of about 200 billion. I have to go cross-check that. So imagine the amount of change, the amount of trades, the amount of people coming in here, professionals, new people that are seeing Lagos as like, the nightlife in Lagos is amazing, is booming. So there's a lot of trading, there's a lot of business transaction. Lagos alone is about generating this year, they already made $113 billion. Basically, so there's a lot of activities happening here. There's a lot of migration happening here. There's a lot of people coming here. So that is one of the things that are contributing to the large migration. Now, how do we create a solution for this population? Right? So let's talk about some of the things that are causing the housing deficit. Number one, demand and supply. The demand for rentals alone in Lagos every day is crazy. A lot of people are moving in, a lot of people are making moves. So there's a huge demand and there's a huge supply. Another thing, again, you need to understand, we have limited lands in Lagos. There are limited lands in Lagos. A lot of them are water filled and you basically have to sand fill or reclaim the land. So that's why you see if you go to VI right now and you check the coastal areas, there's a lot of sand filling going on right now. There's a lot of lands being reclaimed so that we can create more solutions. We have high demand, we have high demand of people looking for houses and very little supply of homes. We have limited land here in Lagos. Lagos Island is literally an island. Every day we're reclaiming one portion of the land or the other. So with these situations ahead, what are the solutions? So In my article that I introduced, it's called Project Highlight the High Rise, because I feel like in order for us to have a lot of solutions and a lot of accommodation for the population that we have in Lagos, we have to focus on vertical structures. So imagine this, instead of 10 people living in fully detached and clogging the road, or imagine if, let's say, there's this community here of 20 units, individual homes. Imagine if we could leave the horizontal building, which is fully detached, townhouses, and build up. So instead of the 20 people everywhere, we have the 20 people up. And guess what? You now have land. So you can now do greenery, you can now do gym, you can do some exclusive things in each of these places to accentuate the value of the property. But imagine, instead of 20 homes littered everywhere, we have one structure. Now, not only is it easy for you to move around, you don't have to move to 20 homes to get to where you're going to. It's also easy for you to basically coordinate and even have more to accommodate. So that's why when you go to New York, you see a lot of high vertical structures, you see a lot of skyscrapers, because the population needs to be accommodated. New York had to do that early 1980s in order for them to accommodate the population. Their population there is a lot. And guess what? Lagos is times 4 of that. And we want a solution. So we cannot be providing a solution and we are building fully detached every day. We have to have a better urban planning. If you want to have fully detached, maybe only in Banana Island, or maybe only in some places in Chevron and Pinnock, some places that are like Serb, but places that have closer network to the road, we should focus on vertical structure. Vertical structure is very good in terms of accommodating people. It also helps you to have like more public spaces. You can now build more canals. So 20 people in different places, one structure, you can now have more places for you to do your canals. You now have more spaces for you to do so many things. So in order for us to be a progressive nation, we need to focus on building vertical. And if you're very, very rich, just like we have in New York, you can be in the penthouse suites overlooking people. That's what you want to do. So you can be in the penthouse suite overlooking people, but the major building, the major structure should please, for a better housing solution or to reduce the rate of housing deficit in Lagos, we need to focus on vertical structure. We need to focus on building up. So instead of 20 people living around, let's have 20 people in one vertical property. And let's have social amenities around. Then we can be able to have our beaches. Because now one of the reasons why they are reclaiming the land in the beach area is so that they can build more expensive homes. So we need to reclaim our land. We need to focus more on vertical structures, and we need to focus more on solution-based building. So like I said, there's a much more extensive, I will give you guys a little bit of, because right now I'm also looking at it. So yeah, this is our website. It's much more extensive. We also did some, pie charts. We also did we even gave some why highlight the high rise. We even did some properties like here, office towers, skyscrapers, commercial, and we know where you can find most of it. Like one of the things I love about VI is the fact that Victoria Island, it's a well coordinated place. We have mixed development. We have a lot of towers. We have a lot of, it's the CBS, it's the Central Business District of Lagos, basically. So you have a lot of that. Then we have high rising. We have a lot in Victoria Island, Ikoyi, and a lot in the marina. If you go to Lagos Marina, where we have most bank headquarters, you see a lot of high rise. So you can see that the city is easy for it to be coordinated. And then we have the solution. We did some references. So it's currently available now on our website. You can go there. It's titled Project Highlight the High Rise. I'm just going to show you guys again. It was done by me and my team. You can see a little bit of Lagos here. See how beautiful the city is. If we could just have a little more high rise, it would be so lovely. So yeah, that is the solution that I think will be helping us to curb the housing deficit issue that we have. If we focus on vertical structure, we are focusing on a much more solution-based rather than having tons of fully detached. Let's have tons of, skyscrapers. And that way we can be able to provide more housing. Because if you now take that 20 units and build up, you can now do more. So you can now even accommodate more people. And if you create in-house facilities for them, then you do not necessarily have to, the state, Lagos doesn't even have to do too much for its people anymore. Okay, because now you just need the creativity for the people that you have to be able to build. So it's very important as a progressive nation that we focus on high rise in order to solve the solution of housing deficit. The population in Lagos is a lot. Trust me, 4 times more than New York, and New York has way more skyscrapers than we do. And let's also make them affordable. Let's make them affordable. Please don't go and be doing high rise for, like, let's please make them affordable. That's the best way to actually curb the issue. So please make them affordable. Please make them amazing. Please make them solution based, and let's focus less on fully detached and more on vertical structures. Thank you guys for watching. I'll be doing more of this. I really enjoyed this process. So the next one, we're going to be talking about AI and real estate. How do we incorporate AI into the real estate space? Okay, I feel like a lot of people are getting it all wrong. Don't get it twisted, right? I'm all for progressive thinking, but how do we fit AI in the real estate space? Because a lot of people feel like AI is after your job. Nope. AI is not after your job. It can actually be used as a tool to make your job, because there's nothing that beats human communication and human relation. But how do we use AI in your favor? So, our next episode, we're going to be talking about AI in real estate space. Is it a necessity or something? Is it a thumbs up or a thumbs down? So, thank you guys for watching, and join me next time when we're talking about AI in real estate space. I cannot wait to share my knowledge. I would like it to be an interactive session. I would like to know, especially the professionals, what are your thoughts on AI and how can it be used? I think I'll even make it a collaborative session just so we can have more insight. All right, I've said thank you a lot, but this time I mean it for real. Thank you guys, and I hope you enjoyed the session.